Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell if you want to get the videos as soon as they upload. YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video. And today I want to talk to you guys about this 12-inch Hulk. It's actually 14 inches, but it was part of the 12-inch Marvel Legend line. This was released in 2017. I don't remember when. I want to say like early February. But this was huge. This was like $75 on release. And it did reach a couple Ross retailers. There are no Rosses in my area, but people were scoring it for about 20-30 bucks. Lucky for you. The biggest package in the 12-inch line, again, because Hulk is 14 inches. So you got to appreciate that. The back of the package, Hulk looking humongous, and this product shot is really cool. I don't know who took these photos or who edited them, but they look great. I don't know, for some reason they remind me of the Ghostbuster cereal. When I was a kid, there was a Ghostbuster cereal that had a hologram on the box. And I think just seeing that sold me on buying the cereal. And I don't even remember what it tastes like. I'm going to assume it had like a Lucky Charms taste or something. The Incredible Hulk, the biggest figure from the 12-inch Marvel Legend line. I've had all these in storage for 3 years now, 3-4 years. And I'm moving them from one storage to another. So I decided it would be pretty cool to review them. Let me know if you want to see the rest of them in reviews. But Hulk being the biggest and probably one of the coolest, aside from maybe Wolverine and Thor. It's just one of my favorite figures from this line, and I hope Hasbro would one day get back to this and maybe create some villains for each hero we have. Maybe we can, pose them in some dioramas and stuff, but that's just a high hope for me. But these are great. Comes with an extra pair of hands and another head, which is the older style for Hulk. If you remember, in the older days he had that look. This one is based more off Mark Ruffalo, kind of, like very loosely. I remember when these things came out, a lot of people were complaining on the price, and even myself, I was kind of like shocked at first because I didn't expect to pay 50 bucks for Marvel Legends. But after getting Spider-Man in my hand, I thought it was worth it because I have all of them. So I do like the line. And now that they're long gone, I think about it and I say they were definitely worth it. Like the amount of plastic, especially on Hulk, the amount of plastic given to you here is incredible. Like if I were to melt this down, I could probably make 4 or 5 Spider-Man. Like no bullshit. This is so heavy. It's so much, like there's nothing hollow except the torso on this figure. Everything else is solid and it's heavy and it's stable. And I had one of these before, and at the diaphragm joint it snapped and I had to get it replaced, so I returned it and got a new one. But that was when these were on the shelves back in the day. And if you want to see the size comparison to a Spider-Man, there you go. 6 inches versus 14 inches. Like Spider-Man is probably the size of his arm alone. So I would say that they were definitely worth their $50, $75 retail with this guy. And they're still out there for that same price. They haven't even gone up like that. Well, that's not completely true. Hulk has risen to about 130, 140 bucks. And again, he may be even worth that, honestly. He may be worth $200. And I know that's crazy to say, but he's big and he's definitely something that you're going to put on a shelf and he's going to stand out. He's super detailed. Like the paint on him looks really nice. The sculpting on it looks nice. You get an extra head. That's more to say about any other Hulk figure. We never get an alternate head with a Hulk figure. I don't know if you noticed that, but we got it here, and it's pretty sweet, man. You even get hands here also. We barely get any hands for Hulk figures, for 6-inch Hulk figures. This is probably the ideal Hulk figure. They should make the same Hulk in a 6-inch line. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if they can because the articulation. That's another thing I forgot to bring up. The articulation. This was the first time Hasbro included a diaphragm joint alongside an ab crunch. But this thing is pretty cool. You get all the same range you do with an average Marvel Legend. You don't get a hinge in the neck. You just get that ball peg, but it works well enough that you can put any one of these heads on. I think by now they could probably put those little neck pegs that hinge back and forth a little bit. That would give him some neck pivot and some attitude. But for what it is, I don't mind it. I think it looks really cool. 2 different head sculpts. Both are really cool, I'm not going to lie to you. But both are painted different too. If you look really close, the eyes on the head on the left are like silverish, where the eyes on the right are green. I prefer the one on the right. They look more realistic. But I don't know. They both look really cool. Even the hair has different shading in it. You can see that the colors are slightly different which reminds me of like the Ninja Turtle shades. Like Leonardo was a different color than Donatello, but the teeth on this one look really nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look at the size of Spider-Ham compared to this head. The head is heavier than this figure. So think about it. Hasbro can make $20 on selling Spider-Ham, or struggle to make $60, $70 on these Hulk figures, which they should have made $100 on. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's why it's a no-brainer, and they canceled the line because it just wasn't worth it for them to waste that much plastic and not gain any profit back. So now Marvel Legends has a deluxe line, charges you about $30, $35 for a 6-inch figure, 7-inch figure. So they win, and we lucked out because we could have had these figures for $50, but we didn't support them when we had the chance. This figure's great though. The articulation is nice. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I think it misses is butterfly joints, but at this size, I don't think it's necessary. My right arm is a little loose. It will wiggle off. Not off, but up and down. It'll just like swivel up and down by itself. I'll take this hand out. But I am happy with what Hasbro did with the articulation. They tried to give us a diaphragm joint and an ab crunch. The problem with the Hulk that I had last time, I told you before that it really snapped when I try to rotate the diaphragm joint. So I'm not going to do it here. It sounds like it's making a weird sound anyway. But the side to side moving is very functional. And same thing with the forward and back. Even without moving the ab crunch, you get a lot of movement on that diaphragm joint. But with the ab crunch, you get a lot more movement. So feel free to move that around. Just be careful, I would say, when it comes to that diaphragm joint. The pants are done extremely nice too. The sculpt, the detail on it, the lining on the denim, it looks like jeans. The creasing and the muscles look really cool. The shading in it look nice. It makes it look kind of realistic. I had this picture photoshopped on Instagram, not Photoshop, but filtered on Instagram, and people thought that I added shading to it, and I said no, that's just factory. And they're like, oh, my figure doesn't look like that. And I'm like, but it does. Well, this just in, a 13-inch Surtur about to be released for $50. They could definitely bring back this 12-inch line. For articulation purposes, the head goes left and right, up and down, a little bit of pivot, nothing too much. The arm raises all the way up. You get the bicep swivel that goes 360. The shoulder goes up, double jointed elbows. The bicep does swivel as well. And you can put the hand back, of course. But the double jointed elbow works really, really good. You get the diaphragm that pivots left and right, back and forth, along with the ab crunch. The diaphragm does spin around, but I say be careful because mine snapped. But the ab crunch works really well. Split works really good for this figure too, a really full split. Better than Spider-Man, which is weird. Double jointed knees, thigh swivel, of course. Ankle swivel too. Ankle hinge, pivot, and toe articulation. Everything is packed. Everything you want to see in a figure is here except butterfly joints. But that isn't even necessary with Hulk. Do you have Hulk? Do you have Captain America? Do you have any of these 12-inch figures? What do you think about them? Should Hasbro come back with them? If they do, who would you like to see? Any villains? Me personally, I'd like to see some villains. I want to see Kingpin. I want to see Venom. I want to see Sabretooth. I want to see Omega Red. I want to see Green Goblin. I want to see Carnage. I want to see Thanos. I want to see a bunch of guys. Just continue to make them. I mean, I want to see at least one villain per hero. That would be great. Like Venom to Spider-Man and Sabretooth to Wolverine and so on and so forth. Judging how this review goes, maybe I'll review the other 12-inch figures. Let me know what you think if you think I should. Like always, give a guy a thumbs up if you like the video. Feel free to subscribe for more content and click that notification bell to get the videos as soon as they upload. And until next time, peace.
But if you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?